So Anthropic just built a Claude model that hacks browsers, like actually hacks them by itself, with no human telling it what to do. In their own internal test, it hacked Firefox 181 times. Today, China dropped a model that took the #1 spot for coding away from OpenAI. OpenAI is also launching a new image model that's coming straight for Adobe. And now the OpenAI agent on your Mac can now click stuff while you sleep. Finally. By the end of this video, you'll know about every AI story that actually matters from the last 24 hours. Let's go. What's up, everybody? It's Roshan with AI Heavy. Today, we're covering 5 stories. Alibaba's brand new Qwen 3.6 Max preview that's beating GPT and Claude at coding. Anthropic's Mythos model, the cyber bomb they just set off. OpenAI Codex turning into a full desktop agent on Mac. A new image model launching today that wants to eat Adobe for lunch. And Google quietly shipping interactive 3D inside Gemini. Stick around because story number 2 is the most insane thing I've seen Anthropic do in the last year. Real talk. Let's get into it. Okay, so Alibaba just released Qwen 3.6 Max preview, as in today. And here's why you should care. Terminal Bench 2.0 for command line execution, Skills Bench for general problem solving, Qwen Claw Bench for tool use, Qwen Web Bench for web interaction, SciCode for scientific programming. Alibaba is now beating OpenAI and at the one thing OpenAI built their whole brand on, coding. Here's what's wild. The API is compatible with OpenAI and Anthropic. So if you've already got Cursor set up or Klein, or you're running anything on the OpenAI SDK or Anthropic SDK, you can swap in Qwen 3.6 Max with basically no code changes. Drop the endpoint, swap the key, you're up and running. It's not open source. It's a hosted proprietary model through Alibaba's Cloud's Model Studio and Qwen Studio. The model string is Qwen 3.6-Max-Preview, if you want to plug it in tonight. Now here's my take. This is the moment a lot of us have been waiting for, and a lot of us have been worried. The price-to-performance gap between Western AI and Chinese AI just collapsed. On the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, Qwen 3.6 Max scored 52. The median for models in that price tier is 14. So you're getting roughly 4 times the intelligence per dollar. So here's what it means for you. If you're a developer or you're building agents, you need to test this model this week, like today. Spin up a side branch, point your stack at Twin, and run your eval suite. You might be paying for half what you're paying for right now for the same output, or better output. If you're running an AI agency, this matters even more. Your margins just got better. The same cursor workflow, the same N8N flow, the same codex setup, running on Qwen could literally double your profit depending on what you're doing. If you're just an everyday user playing with AI tools, you're probably going to start seeing this model show up inside the apps you already use over the next few weeks. Cursor will likely add it. I use Cursor a lot. Open Router already supports it. Every model marketplace is going to have it. The era of OpenAI is automatically the best at everything is over. It's been over for a while, if we're being honest, but today on coding, the king has been dethroned. Quick side note before we move on. If you're building anything serious with AI, we're literally talking about this stuff every day inside the AI Freedom Lab. It's my free school community. Links in the description. You can join in like 30 seconds. We'll get to the proper plug at the end of the video. All right, let me get to the next story because Anthropic just changed the whole cybersecurity game. All right, now the Anthropic story. Buckle up. So Anthropic released something called ClaudeMythos preview earlier this month. I'm sure you've heard about it. It went into a private preview on April 7th and then got broader access on April 8th. But the full implications of what this thing can do, those just landed today. The benchmarks back it up. It scored 93.9 on SWE Bench, verified, 97.6 on USAMO, which is the USA Math Olympiad level test. Those numbers are absurd. But the headline isn't the benchmarks. The headline is what happened when Anthropic let it loose internally. Mythos autonomously discovered and exploited zero-day vulnerabilities in every major operating system and every major web browser, without a human guiding it by itself. For comparison, when they ran the same test on Claude Opus 4.6, because people are still using 4.6 and not 4.7, some people say 4.7 is actually worse, but that's a topic for another day. Opus only got working JavaScript shell exploits in Firefox twice out of several hundred attempts. Mythos succeeded 181 times. That's not an incremental improvement. That's a different category of capability. Here's the thing. There's a reason why Anthropic is not releasing this model publicly. Not on Claude.ai, not on the API, not on Bedrock for everyone. Access is limited through what they're calling Project Glasswing, a closed consortium of internet, critical companies, browser vendors, OS vendors, and major open source maintainers. The idea is to give defenders a head start before the attacker side of the world catches up. So why does this matter for you? One, if you're running a software business, your security posture needs an upgrade right now, like this week. The age of Patch It Tuesday is over. AI models can find bugs faster than humans can. Period. The companies that get ahead of this are going to win the next decade. Two, if you're a developer or a freelancer who builds for clients, you have a massive new service line. Helping small businesses do AI-assisted security audits is going to be a real 2026. People will pay for it. Three, even if you don't care about cybersecurity at all, the bigger story is what this tells us about model capability scaling. Mythos isn't 5% better than Opus. It's 90 times better at something specific. That gap is going to keep showing up in other domains: coding, math, agent reasoning, creative work. The slope is steeper than the headlines make it sound. I'll do a deeper breakdown on Project Glasswing next week if you want me to. Just drop a comment if you do. Now let's talk about Codex on your Mac, because OpenAI just made a move that nobody's talking about enough. OpenAI shipped a massive Codex update this week. The Mac app can now see your screen, click buttons, type into apps, and run a full background agent while you keep working in other windows. This is computer use. The same thing Anthropic introduced last year, the same idea Google's been chasing with Project Mariner, but this version is different because it's built right into the Codex app, and it ships with 90 new plugins out the gate. Let me list what they added in one update. 1. Computer use. Codex can run multiple agents in parallel. Each agent gets its own cursor. You can have one agent fixing a bug in your code, another agent doing research in a browser, and another agent organizing your inbox, all at the same time while you're doing your own thing. 2. Image generation through GPT Image 1.5. So Codex can take a screenshot of your app, generate a redesigned version, and then go build it. Mock up to working code in one prompt. That's a real workflow now. 3. Memory. Codex remembers your preferences, your past corrections, the way you like things done. Personal style transfers across sessions. 4. An in-app browser. You can drop a web page in the Codex app and comment directly on it like you're leaving notes for an intern. The agent reads your notes and acts on them. 5. 90 plus new plugins, including MCP servers and app integrations. Codex can now talk to your Notion, your Linear, your Figma, your Gmail, your calendar, all natively. So here's why this matters. Until last week, if you wanted a real desktop agent, you were duct taping things together. Anthropic's computer use, plus a MCP server, plus your own scripts. It was usable, but it was clunky. OpenAI just shipped a polished version of all that in one app. What this means for you: if you're a solopreneur, you can build agents to handle entire workflows now without writing any code. Email triage, lead enrichment, content scheduling, social media moderation, spreadsheet maintenance. The Codex app plus a few plugins can run all of it on your machine in the background while you go do something else. If you do client work, you should be charging for setting this up for businesses. Every small business owner I know would pay $2 to $5 grand to have someone come in and build them a working desktop agent that handles their business work. That's a service. One quick warning though, letting an AI control your computer means letting an AI control your computer. Be careful with permissions. You don't run experimental agents in environments where they can touch your bank, your email, or your production code without supervision. Set up a separate user account on your Mac for agent work if you're going hard with this stuff. Sandbox first, scale later. Quick prediction: within 6 months, the first viral story is going to be someone's Codex agent doing something it shouldn't have done. A wrong email sent, a wrong file deleted, something embarrassing. So bake guardrails in now, not after. A few more things you need to know from the past 24 hours. Story 4, OpenAI is launching a new image model today. According to industry insiders, OpenAI is dropping a new image generation model this week. In its position as a direct shot at Adobe. The model was being described as a Photoshop replacement, not just a generator. So we're talking about native editing, native composition, native style control, all from prompts. The interesting wrinkle is that Adobe is also partnering with OpenAI inside Firefly. So OpenAI is competing with their own partner. Welcome to AI in 2026. What this means for you: if you do any kind of design work, content creation, or marketing, if you charge for design services, you need to start watching your pricing carefully. The floor is dropping. Story 5. Google's Gemini 3.1 Ultra now generates interactive 3D models. Google quietly added something kind of nuts to Gemini. You can now ask it to generate interactive 3D models and simulations directly inside the chat response. So you can ask, show me how a piston engine works. And it gives you a 3D piston you can rotate, zoom in, pull apart real time in the chatbot. You combine that with Gemini 3.1 Ultra's 2 million context window and the fact that it processes text, image, audio, and video natively without any transcription step in the middle, and you've got the most capable multimodal model on the market right now. What this means for you, if you teach, you can make explainer content, you can build training material. If you run a course business, Gemini just became a serious tool. You can prototype interactive lesson plans in seconds. So that's the rapid fire. Now let me tell you the real way to actually keep up with all of this. Real talk, the pace right now is brutal. 5 major stories in 24 hours, new models every week, tools shipping daily. Most people get overwhelmed and stop trying. The ones who win are the ones who plug into a community. That's why I built AI Freedom Lab. It's my free school community. We've got free courses on building agents, breakdowns of every major model release, live discussions, and a whole community of people who are actually using AI to make money. Beginners, developers, agency owners, all the way up. Link is in the description. Take 30 seconds to join. Come hang out. It's a good time. And if you want all this delivered to your inbox so you don't have to scroll Twitter for 6 hours a day, go to aitoolindex.io and sign up for the free newsletter. Every week, we break down the new tools that actually matter, the news that actually move the needle, and what to do about it. No fluff, no hype, just the signal. That is in the description as well. If this video helps, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you can actually see the daily AI news when it drops. I post videos a few times a week, and drop a comment. Which story surprised you the most today? Was it Mythos finding 0 days? Quinn taking the coding crown? Tell me. I read every single comment. Also, check out this next video here. I think you'll really like it. It's a good one. I'll see you on the next one.